Francis Ha.
Yes, is directed by Noah Baumbach, master of this nerdy, wordy East Coast indie movie. Made such things as The Squid and the Whale and Margot at the Wedding. Starring Greta Gerwig, written by both of them. And it's the story of Frances. She's 27-year-old, New York geek, wannabe dancer, perennially undateable. Seems to have more fun just mucking about with her best friend, really, Sophie, than anything else. But things are changing for her. You know, she sees her friends settling down. The money is tight. The life is beginning to seem a bit more of a struggle than a laugh. Shot in black and white, this as well. Here's a clip from Francis Ha.
How could you not want to date him? He's kind of magic.
Because I'm with Patch.
Patch is the kind of guy who buys a black leather couch and is like, I love it. What are we doing with our day?
I gotta get going around 5.
I thought we were hanging out
We are.
all day.
I have plans with Patch tonight, I told you.
No, you didn't.
Yes, I did. I texted that to you.
No, you didn't.
Yes, I did. Here.
We're not doing that.
I did text you, though.
I believe you.
You don't have to believe me. I did text you.
Want to see my room?
Now, my opinion of the movie actually changed quite significantly during the duration. Because when it started, like I said, it's black and white and there's this sort of quirky music and the characters are all acting a bit crazy and one of them's playing the ukulele banjo and one of them's knitting because, hey, they're so retro and ironic. It all felt pretty irritating. The only person I want to see playing a ukulele banjo in black and white films is George Formby. It felt like I was watching a sort of hipster take on Sex and the City or something like that. And it went on like this, and the characters saying quite annoying things like, tell me the story of us. And, you know, you're just finding them a little bit arch, and the film's trying to be all sort of French New Wave and very knowing. And then something happened. Again, no spoilers, this is just part of what happens. I'm not giving too much away. She goes to see her parents. Frances goes to see her parents. And you see her in a different light, because her parents actually played by Greta Gerwig's real life parents. She goes to the West Coast to Sacramento to see them, and you see her just being normal. She's no longer being cool and trendy in New York. She's just doing normal down to earth things with a normal down to earth family. And after that moment, all of a sudden I started to warm to her a lot more, and it clicked that Noah Baumbach and Greta Gerwig probably are aware that these people and their lifestyles can be a little bit annoying, and that their sort of drifting geek chic lives can be a little bit hard to swallow. So I don't think it's just a simple love letter to that. Actually, I think there is an awareness, and they needed to show her as someone who actually has some sort of normal human emotions, as well as just being very ironic about everything. And when you view it on those terms, it actually became a lot more enjoyable for me and a lot less irritating, and a film really about being on the cusp, because she's sort of partly dreamy student with, you know, thinks she can do anything she wants, but she's also partly an adult who realizes she has to earn money and she has to pay rent and do sort of very boring, mundane things. So although it did take a while to fall in love with, and it reminds me in that respect of Happy Go Lucky, the Mike Leigh film.
Yes.
I don't know if you saw that with Sally Hawkins.
Yes.
Where, you know, Sally Hawkins is amazing in that, but she's just relentlessly bubbly and happy and bouncy.
Yes.
And you're just like, whoa, am I going to have to put up with this for the whole film?
Yes, you did have to put it up the whole film.
But once I got into the rhythm of that kind of character and where she was coming from, I warmed to her a lot more. And I felt similarly about the character of Frances in this movie.
Yeah, I mean,
Did you have that moment?
I don't know that. I think that moment probably came later,
right?
In the film for me, I did warm to it in the end. I mean, it felt like a Woody Allen film. It felt like certainly one of Woody Allen's films where he was obviously trying to make a French art house film.
But earlier, now you mentioned something earlier, didn't you, that I think is very important?
Well, it's very like Girls.
Okay, now I haven't seen Girls.
No, you haven't seen Girls,
right.
So maybe Girls, of course, the Lena Dunham smash. Smash within the niche of the people who it was a smash hit for. If you certain slice of people have all watched Girls, no one else has. It's one of those, which is a sitcom about 20-something New York women trying to figure out where they fit in to the world, make sense of settling down, of boyfriends or whatever. And one of the I've been made to sit through all of Girls, and it's very, very good. It's very, very good, Girls. It's brilliant. But one of the problems is the male lead, who's called Adam in Girls, crops up in this movie, and he's called Adam, and he's playing and he's playing an artist.
So same actor.
Same actor playing a character with the same name, because obviously it's one of those films where everyone's got their real names pretty much.
Yeah.
To obviously to make it easier or something. It's got that feel. And I just thought, oh no, am I watching? What am I watching? Am I watching Girls? It's him again.
Do you think that's deliberate?
No, I think it's. I don't know if it's deliberate. It felt like an accident, and unfortunately for me, it bumped me out of the film.
Right.
Momentarily. I mean, I also had limited sympathy, and maybe this is what the film's about. Is she is trying to drift, and she's always staying in people's apartments, and then they're. I mean, doesn't really constitute a spoiler because it's not like a hard plot point like whether she comes back from the dead or anything after
Not a lot happens.
Not a lot happens, but she's always being moved. Hits a crunch moment with her rent with her friends, and then has to find someone else's flat to kip in. And it's a film about growing up, but a film about growing up in your late 20s. Rather than maybe when you're 18.
Yeah. But I think people do grow up later now. I mean, I think that is a real social thing, isn't it?
Well, yes, and they have the liberty to, the freedom to, and or the time or the space or something. It seems to be, I mean, it seemed to be about quite a privileged life as well. Like shall I stay on at dance school? Shall I do something else? And maybe, I don't know. There were great performances in it. Greta Gerwig's she's very charismatic, and I mean, I didn't know if I wanted it to be funny or sadder or something. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it absolutely makes sense, and it is. I mean, when you go and see it, you'll hopefully understand what we're talking about.
Yeah.
Which is, it's in a way, it's actually quite a difficult film to talk about.